some pages from Night Owl and other BBS and Teletech services from the past 40 years. Kindly supplied to us each week, courtesy of Brian Martin of the Night Owl BBS, which hopefully should be online right now and can be viewed via the details on your screen right now. We'd just like to say a personal thank you so much to Brian for supplying and sharing the Night Owl pages with us each week here on 8 till 8. A very good evening to you. This is youtube.com Sheep Live. It's the 31st of May 2025 and the final edition of 8 till 8. Hello, how are you doing? Very good evening. Welcome to 8 till 8 live on youtube.com/Wi-Fi Sheep. Hopefully you're hearing and seeing me, as I've literally just had warnings of frame dropout. So give us a shout out in the comments or the live chat if you're live and watching me, so I know we are actually live. We should be all right. Anyway, how you doing? Great to have your company. It's episode or edition 20 of season 3, 8 till 8. It's the last in the season. I threatened last week that I was going to be calling it a day today for this series, for basically our summer break. Traditionally, we don't live stream over the summer because everyone wants to be outside doing things in the lighter evenings. This, as a live stream, as I've said before, works better on those cold winter days where I can moan about my terrible commutes to work sliding around on the ice. So, still got my cup of tea. It is warm. It's too warm now. So I moan about it being cold, and now it's really warm and muggy. And I have had the windows open in here, but it's just a little bit too noisy, especially if I'm going to be live streaming. So yeah, anyway, I hope you're well, and thank you for joining me for this final edition this evening. I'm just going to check in the chat if someone has dialed in. Good evening. We see and hear you fine. That's wonderful. So I had all the messages just as I went live under the sun telling me all my frame rate had gone. So yeah, that isn't good. Anyway, we're back. That's fantastic. So we should probably start with, once again, a huge thank you to our Patreon and YouTube channel members. There they all are on screen right now. Thank you to each and every one of them, including the M67, who's right there on that list. A very good evening to you, and thank you everybody that continue to support me throughout the audio. The audio is always slightly out of sync, right? Brian, Martin, Brian, whoever you are, it's always slightly out of sync. That's a problem with this setup, which I'll be fixing. Anyway, right, where was I? Yes, thank you everybody that continues to support me. You can continue to start again. You can continue to support me on patreon.com/Wi-Fi Sheep, or alternatively right here as a YouTube channel member. Base support starts from 99p all the way up to £2.99, and that's British pound sterling. That'll be seen in your local currency. If it can't be, it'll most likely be converted to US dollars. Show dates, and one of the reasons I'm calling it quits for this season is because next weekend, which is Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th of June, I'm going to be at the Econet LAN Party, National Museum of Computing, Bletchley Park, Milton Keynes. I believe there might still be some tickets available. So if you are thinking of coming over and saying hello, please, 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 now is a good time to book. Don't leave it, because tickets are selling out fast. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good show, that, and that's kind of going to be the theme for tonight's live stream. Alternatively, you can see me a bit later on in the year. I'll be at Cambridge Retro Computer Festival. That'll be on Saturday the 15th and Sunday the 16th of November 2025. Centre for Computing History in Cambridge. Those at the moment are my two more or less confirmed bookings. The main one being the Econet LAN Party at the National Museum of Computing, Bletchley Park, which will be next weekend. yeah, so we've basically got to get stuff ready for that. More or less got a week to go. So how has everyone's week been? Mine has been all right. Busy, always busy. Before we go on, yes, there's a slight sync issue between the sound and the video doesn't quite match up. This is the same when I use this same rig for the recordings for the edited content. And what I have to do is I clap like that, right, before I do any speaking. And basically that allows me to then line up the audio back with the video. So it is a known issue that I do kind of know how to fix. I just never quite got around to it. So yeah, the audio sync issue, which now everyone is going to notice, is I know about it. It's slightly annoying, but never mind. You know, let me put that on my list of things to fix for season 4. So season 4, so when we're back live streaming again, so fully intend to be back doing a live edition of 8 till 8 again. It very much depends on what happens next. So traditionally we take a break now. We don't run for the summer. We don't run for the autumn or fall. We come back live around November time, kind of ready for Christmas, and I do the Christmas New Year live streams. Excuse me, I'm gritting my eye. I do the Christmas New Year live streams, and then we kind of roll straight into another series of 8 till 8 for the dark winter months, climbing into the spring and very early summer, because that's the traditional way of doing things. So I'd hope to be back in November. Because of what I explained last week about my kind of domestic situation and what's happening there, it's possible that it might be January before I'm back. So I may end up doing 1 or 2 one-off live stream specials before doing a regular series again, because there's a lot that needs to change and be improved and move all of this. And I told you that every week, that I need to move all this and set up a new studio and all the kind of everything that goes with that. So that's the plan, and I'll keep you informed. So if you haven't done already, do follow me across social medias, all the social medias more or less. Search at Wi-Fi Sheep. You can find me. It's Facebook. I'm trying to think now. Let's go my show dates. It's down there. Yeah. So Blue Sky, Mastodon, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, Instagram. It's at Wi-Fi Sheep, and you should be able to find me across all those platforms. Alternatively, just stay right here on YouTube. Okay, on the bench is the return of the BBC Masters, which is kind of what we're going to be looking at. Before I do that, though, I just want to talk about something just very briefly. So I've shown these before, and this is my other one that I'm just going to cut out of its sealed bag. Buy these things and I never use them. It's terrible. Right. So this is a tiny 88. I think it's 88. This is an 85. I can't see because the chip is ironically tiny. Magnifying glass. I think these are 88s, but let me just check. Just bear with me. And I still can't read that. I swear it's an 88. Anyway, right. So I bought these during the chip shortage, during the pandemic, because without doing my research, which is a big no-no, basically they were billed as a Arduino Nano drop-in replacement, and it was like, oh right, but you know, they were a fraction of the price at the time. These weren't affected by the inflated prices, so you could actually pick them up for about 89 pence, or equivalent of about $1 US. Unfortunately, for what I wanted them for, which is for the Tiny Basic Computers project, these things are woefully underpowered, so they never really got used in anything. But now I have a little side project, which is, if you remember this from a couple of weeks ago, this was some sort of stuff that I was given from sadly a deceased colleague of mine. from the sort of makerspace community. And you might remember this is the Raspberry Pi Pico, and this one had this little OLED display. And you might remember that we powered it up, and it kind of worked. Anyway, the point of talking about this now is that I've bought, because I forgot I had this, I've bought 2 more of these little OLED displays, because they're quite a nice little module. If you excuse the board it's actually running off, these are quite a small, SPI serial driven. And basically what I'm thinking of is trying to build, this is for the Model Row project, trying to build some destination platform timing screens. So I'm sure those of you in, especially in the UK, or probably across Europe in all honesty, are probably very familiar with the kind of digital LED type train time display screens that hang over the platforms. And I want to try and rebuild some of those in, or for us it's 00, but for the continent to be HO scale model railways. I thought it'd be really, really cool to have actually working live destination boards. So I bought 2 of these in yellow. These are, I think this is the white or the blue. And I was just wondering about what could I do to kind of drive them. So yeah, we could use Arduino. So Atmega 328P would work fine. And I've got plenty of those sort of boards lying around. And then I thought about, well, I've got these tiny 88s, and I was like, are these powerful enough to drive an OLED screen? Because they don't need to do anything. They don't need to connect to anything. I mean, this one's getting live temperature data, but we don't need that. It just needs to run a script to display some text on its little display. That's pretty much all it has to do. Anyway, so I can find it for you. I know I hadn't set something up. Sorry, bear with me. There we go. Right. So I did a quick search for the @tiny 88, and Google does its little AI overview, which kind of tells you what you need. You can see here on the screen. So it's part of the AVR family. So it's part of the Arduino AVR chipset family. So it runs at anything up to 16 megahertz. It has, we can see there, it has, it was on the screen. Where is it? Oh, yeah. So static RAM, 512 bytes, I think. Oh, no, 8K of SPI memory. But the SRAM is 512 bytes. So it's half of 1K of running SRAM. This is kind of why this board fell apart for trying to be used for tiny basic computers in any capacity, because there just wasn't enough RAM on it to do anything. I've got to be honest with you, considering I, grew up in the late 80s and right through the 90s, I thought the days of dealing with bytes in computing were long, were gone before I was even born. So I never thought kind of, now approaching my, approaching 40 years old, that here I am dealing with projects and stuff measured in bytes. So my hope is that as the @tiny88 does actually have SPI pins on it, it doesn't have much else of anything else, but it has SPI, that hopefully there is enough memory, enough RAM. There's certainly enough to upload a sketch. So 64, I'm trying to think, it has EEPROM, a 64 byte of EEPROM as well, which is surprising. So yeah, 8K. So there's 8K for a sketch, which will probably be all right. 64 bytes of EEPROM, you're not going to store a lot in that. And then memory, 512 bytes. It would be fascinating to see if you could actually get a basic interpreter or kernel to run on that. I bet you probably could. The problem is there's no UART by default on this board. It doesn't have a UART. So I suppose you could go via SPI. You might be able to get a basic interpreter to run on it. But you would have no memory left to do anything. tiny basic, the C port that I use might just sort of splutter into life in half a K of RAM, but there'd be no RAM for programs anyway. But I'm just wondering, so it'd be a project, you know, to do over the summer if I get time. But I'm just wondering, is it possible to actually drive an OLED, and then you could actually build this, because here's just 4 pins that it connects to, build this into a little sort of 3D printed model piece to sit over the platform, and then hide that underneath the platform or wherever it needed to be. Because once they're programmed and flashed, they wouldn't need to be changed again. So when you just power up the layout, the model railway layout, these things will just spring into life. It might be nice to do some sort of fancy stuff like connect to the internet and get live train data and all that kind of stuff, or live timings, which you could do, but you'd probably want to use something like the Pico. I'm just wondering about, could I do it with this extremely low-end, low-cost stuff? So that was just, you know, a random thought that I thought I would share this evening. Yeah, but quite nice displays, that. They do work very well. And these things are only a couple of pounds each, these OLEDs. So anyway, there you are. That's that random thought this evening. So yeah, the main focus of tonight is just to try and basically try and use this live stream to get a little bit more ready for next weekend. So I'll be going up to Milton Keynes, Bletchley Park on the Saturday. I'm staying overnight, local motel, and then I'll do the Sunday and then come back home the same day. Quick geography lesson for anyone who is remotely interested, which is probably nobody, but okay. So just to explain kind of how things work. So hopefully you can see that all right. Right, so that's the UK. That's the world. Yeah, we're happy with that. Okay, so I'm based here at the moment. Okay, an area called the Welsh Marches. So this is England, and this little faint fuzzy line here is the border between Wales, which is this country, or Principality, sorry, and England, which is all this bit here, right? So Cambridge is there, so that's where I'll be going later on in the year. London is there, okay, and Bletchley Park is Milton Keynes, which it will show up shortly because it's sort of around here. There we are, Bletchley. Okay, so basically I'll be driving along here, going through the second city, Birmingham, and out towards Bletchley. So there is Bletchley. Now it's part of Milton Keynes. And there's actually, if I mentioned, there's Milton Keynes. So this is Bletchley railway station, and there is Bletchley Park. So it kind of does work. There's Bletchley. Yeah, so it kind of does work. It's possible if you just get the train, and you can literally get off at the train. You can walk from the train station into the museum, and there's the National Museum of Computing. And if I put on the yeah, so if you're visiting for the first time, just be aware that there's more than one museum. So the Bletchley Park Museum is different to the National Computer Museum, and you have to pay twice if you want to see everything on the site. So the only bit we're interested in is you come in here and you sent up this road over the roundabout, and then it's these huts here. This is the National Museum of Computing, and I think last year we were housed in here, this building. The BBC Micro Lab, or sort of classroom, is in here, and then sort of the famous computers are all kind of in this bit here. So I think we can just can we get a street view? No, we can go inside. Anyway, so basically it's a series of interconnected huts. Great place though, highly recommend it. So that's where we'll be going, he says. So for those of you who have never been before, that's roughly how it works. Anyway, so I need to just check what's working, what isn't working. So the plan is to take 2 Beams Master 128s and the RISC PC rebuild project, which, by the way, part 2 of the Rotten Acorn series is coming out very shortly. I have just about got it edited together. So if you're a Patreon or YouTube channel member, that will be coming to you hopefully very, very shortly. So what I want to do is I want to decide what spec and configuration the machines are going in. So this is the newer of the two, or the late, no, tell a lie, this isn't the later one. This is my first, I say original, it was given to me, all the machines were given to me. So this is the first BBC Master 128. Now this is the one that we fitted Richard Webb's multi-ROM to, the lithium backup battery, and we've got the OS selector, which is a little bit wonky, but it works, it's there. This has also got the Ethernet module in. So this is the machine that went last time, 2 years ago, the last time I went to the event. However, I'm thinking, seriously thinking about this machine going not on the Ethernet network, but this one being used for demoing or sort of playing stuff kind of as a side exhibit, not actually joining the Ethernet network. So I might need to take the Ethernet network card out of this machine. Like that. So this is an authentic, original, and as far as I'm aware, working Acorn Ethernet card. So we take that out. Let's just do a quick power up. Everyone seems happy. Now this machine underneath, not on the top, used to have the PiTube Direct adapter, internal Raspberry Pi used to sit here. This card is the video NULA card, so this allows this machine to do, it replaces the original ULA chip, and it allows this machine to do different or alternative graphics modes and multiple colours, much more than the 8 that it can do by default. So it changes it from digital to analog TTL video or RGB video. It doesn't really make much difference for our needs. It still behaves the same. So I might use this machine and then run this with the modem and the BBS stuff, which is what I want to test shortly, just to remind myself how that works. So good to see the machine is running okay. If I hit brake, you see it jump straight into second processor tube. So that means the Raspberry Pi is working. And let's see what it's got in ROMs. So that's the ROMs setup, which, yeah, seems all right. It has got the ANFS though. So what I have found, because I've been digging around looking for where's all my stuff gone, is I do have the ANFS EEPROM. That's the filing system that this would need to jump onto the Ethernet system. But I think we'll leave this one as is and won't grow. We'll use it for BBSing is what I'm saying. So far so good. It's been relatively reliable thanks to the the kind donations there from Richard Webb, who I think is going to be at, well, hopefully will be at next weekend's event, which would be great. So these two bits, the filing system and the card, we'll just park those out of the way safely for a minute. Power down the machine. So what I'm thinking is I'm either going to take, or I might take it anyway, I may run Gem on this so we can play sort of some of the PC stuff off floppy disk, or /and, because it's 2 days so I can swap over what the machines do. I might look at trying to dial into the BBSs, assuming I can get an internet connection at the National Computer Museum. You'd imagine you get a Wi-Fi connection. You'd hope so. So I was thinking about how is that going to work in reality, because it's quite an interesting question. So let's just put the lid for this one back on. Still getting dusty. Okay, so for this to work, and this was kindly able by the kind donation of Brian Martin, who you might remember a couple of weeks ago sent me this, which is Night Owl's emergency backup serial interface, so, which I now have. So hopefully Night Owl is actually online. We may try and dial in very shortly. So this basically goes from USB via a CH340 USBs to serial interface through to the DIN connector. So what I'm thinking is that we need to just try and do a kind of like a dry setup again. One, because it's been a couple of weeks and I'm trying to remember how things work or don't work. Now it's possible to put, it doesn't do any damage, but you can put this in the wrong way. So it's, where is it? It's that one. And I think I want to go, do I want to go that way or do I want to go the other way? I can't remember. Oh well, we'll find out shortly if that's the right way or not. Right, so that goes like that. And then we need the Raspberry Pi itself. So I've been using, where have I put that? Ah, there we are. So Fisher Raspberry Pi case and Raspberry Pi 3, because I've got a fair few of these knocking around. It's a Model B Plus, so which isn't doing a lot. So this is now my dedicated Pi modem. And I've been thinking about, well, I kind of need a little display so I can kind of show what's going on the Pi, because the Pi needs a little bit of setting up. So I actually have, although it's a little bit dusty, but this little monitor or display board, which I was actually using as a viewfinder on one of my camera rigs. So I was thinking you might be able to sort of set that up like that, but just for the argument's sake, I'll put that like that. I've got these 3D printed sort of holder things that I did a while ago for another show. But it means you can sort of snap it in there and it'll actually stand up. It's not great, but it works. So put that like that for the minute. So basically I'm thinking if we go via HDMI, there's probably better ways to do this, but we go via HDMI, go straight out of there through normal same full-size HDMI connectors into the top end of the monitor like that, and then that goes via USB. And where's my other USB cable gone? I've been too tidy and efficient and I tidied it away, which isn't great. Oh, there we are, that'll do. So we'll go via mini USB like that, and then that goes into the Pi. Let's just put that in there for a minute. Okay, and now I was thinking, okay, so we've got a display, we've got the Pi, so this could sort of sit in this real estate space, have a monitor, flat screen monitor behind for the main BBC mic, the bit we're wanting to look at. And I was thinking, okay, so I need some sort of keyboard and mouse. I was like, it's a bit clunky. So what I do have, which is kind of cool, I'm trying to charge it back up because it doesn't get a lot of use, but I actually have one of these, which is a little wireless keyboard and mouse combi unit, which has a little trackpad and rubber keyboard. It's terrible for typing on, but it's brilliant for this kind of thing. So that actually gives you a keyboard and mouse on the dongle. The dongle I put in the Pi. So if we just add some power, he says, it's not quite the right power supply for a Pi 3, but it'll do. So just jumble of wires everywhere. That's the only other slight issue. So that's in there. Now, if I power up Pi, I just realised something. I need to power the monitor, don't I? Oh, damn it. Didn't think about that. Let's put this one in. There's the power, there's the power. Right. Let's power the monitor. You going to power up or not? I swear to God, this did work last time I used it, so... Yeah, what's going that way? Come on in. Hello? Any signs of life? Interesting. Okay, that's interesting. I do have some other display options, so and I won't lie to you, that's not looking in particularly amazing condition. So I don't think we can go in the other way, can we? Oh, right, there we are. Just sprung into life. Interesting. There we go. Well, it's certainly reliable, not. Okay, so that does seem to work all right for what we need. Do you know, I might not even need to stand in all honesty, because it might just sort of sit. Is that really not working off either one? Wow, okay. Be happily to work off there. Really? Let's try that again. Sorry, I'm just, while I'm here, let's just debug some things. Yeah, okay, that's fun. Oh well, at least we know that works, so... There we go, right. Okay, so that works. Now, we turn this on. Does it see it? It does as in the buttons work, but it's not seeing the mouse pad. So that's working. You can see that's working, but why isn't the mouse pad working? Yeah, you can see. I'm sorry, it's a little bit washed out, but you can see on the screen. I'm not getting anything on the. It is possibly a little bit low on power. Everything's low on power. This hasn't had much use, so I do have another little charger for it. Just see if that works. Right, you're now on charge. You're going to work? Really? You're not going to work? Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. So I swear to God that used to work fine. Well, worst case scenario, if the worst thing we have to take is another mouse, then that's not so bad. He says, have I got another mouse? You know when you're like, oh, do you know what we need to sort out? Because I was saying, you know what it's like when you know you've got a load of stuff and it's just disappears when you just want to be sort of grabbing things around you. It's like, where on earth has another mouse gone? We were swimming with them last week, if you remember. It's interesting that doesn't work at all. Do you know what? Just because I'm just curious. And again, plugging things into PC is bad because we did this last week and streaming PC went, no you don't. Let me just check, see if it actually works on here. And I'm not just going totally mad. That's okay. I'm going totally mad. It would seem. It would seem I've gone mad. So that doesn't work on the PC. Should just be a wireless USB. That's very interesting. Okay. So. Am I doing something really stupid? What am I not? What am I not doing? That should just work. Right. Okay. Right. Hang on. Hang on. Still a mouse of something else. Can be here all day otherwise. So, right. So. USB mouse. I mean, I can grab mice. It's not a problem. It's just. See, that works. So, if I remember correctly, I created a little document which is on screen here, which you won't be able to see. And this is actually, well, I say I created it. This actually came from something that Brian Martin gave me. So, hopefully. Also realising I haven't got any cursor keys on this. This isn't going to work. Actually, no, those are cursor keys, aren't they? Hang on. I can't see the screen. I can't see that. Hang on, what is it? Yes, I think that's okay. So we hit enter. That now lights up. That might now be running. Why doesn't that work? I feel like it's either because it's not fully charged or I've not done something. But right, so that works. Just going to put that back on charge out the way a moment. So, okay, so the plan is we're going to have that kind of like that, sort of. So I can sort of see what I'm doing. That sits there. That's there. Connects in. And then monitor on the back. And obviously when the machine's on, you see the PC Micro boot up. So like that. Yeah. So we need to go and get the software now. Again, I'm trying to remind myself how this works. So turn BBC Micro off. Yep. So just bear with me when I remember where on earth I put everything and anything. Nope, that's too tidy. Not in there. You know when you kind of you set stuff up and you think, right, I know where it all is, etc. And then when you actually come to needing it, you think, right, I put that in a weird place, which isn't where it's meant to be. So just bear with me. Nope, not under there. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's here. Right, Gocart. You might remember these. So the software is on Gocart. I was actually thinking about trying to put this into a nice BBC Micro cream like case, rather than just having it loose like this, which I might still do actually, but I do need to extend. It's already been cut and shut a couple of times, this cable, not by me I might add, but I need to kind of extend the power lead as well if I'm going to do that. So let's just pop these bits just off there. Booster Micro, because it basically has external standard PC floppy ribbon, that needs to go in into the disk drive. Disk drive takes power. I don't even see that. Wireless connector, which goes in underneath straight into the PSU. That sticks. There's a Molex connector plug that sticks out from the PSU. There we go. Right. Okay. And as long as you've got the BBC Micro and the Intel floppy controller or whatever's required, and you've got the disk filing system, BBC Micro disk filing system, these work without modification, more or less. Right, and then finally we need the USB stick, which I took out. There it is. So USB stick with the images on, just go straight in like that. So it's a fat formatted USB stick, and it's just got SSD single sided disk images on. So that goes like that. Modem screen on like that. Now if we power up the machine, there we go. Brake puts it into CoPro mode. We want to turn off CoPro mode, so we go FX. I have got this written down, but 151 230, and then we select 14, which is off. Brake again. That now basically is off. We need to set. Now, some of these have really nice little OLEDs in that tell you the file name. Mine's not like that, so you just have to know, roughly speaking, where the numbers are. I also have to think the right way around for this to work, so I think it's there, if I remember correctly. We just go C, star C dot. Nope, it's not there. That's Nanogangs. Which, you know, I might show as well, actually. Did I make a note, a useful note to myself as to where I put the disk image? I can't remember. I know we did this last time, no problem. It's amazing what you forget. A couple of weeks from doing stuff, and that's kind of my problem at the moment. It's got so much going. That's AMX art. I've got so much going. Hang on, is it the other way? Check it out the other way. No, that's thingy, but that's white light, which we could play. If all things fail, we'll just play white light. Be done with it. There we go. 30. So this is the disk image that Brian kindly supplies me as Comstar. And then there's ANSI says Comstar, which is a ROM that we need to load into ROM. And I need to remember how to do this. So I don't do this often. So let's just star. Come on. Nope. Why is that doing that for? Right, thank you. Right. Star ROMs. Let's just have a look. So oh, that's the point. Do we have any spare space to put anything else? Let's find out. Right, so can I remember the command for this? I think so. It's sload. Thank you. There we are. In the chat, Brian. Yes, it's frustrating. You go, for God's sake, Tom. That's what I know. Come on, it's been a long week and I don't do this often. So thank you, Brian. Comstar 806. What's the Q for? I don't remember a Q. It was just that, wasn't it? Or do you have to put Q in? I don't remember Q. I don't remember doing that. Oh well, let's try that. Try that again. Oh, okay. So, yeah, page 800 should go into 6. Does this work? Oh, SR. Sorry, that's my bad. I knew that. Q. That's interesting. See, I learned stuff. I missed the R. Yeah, I know. Then you find it probably can't load it because I don't. Oh no, hang on. Oh, is that loaded? Hey, there we are. It has loaded. So if we break. Yeah, excellent. Right, that is working. So yeah, I need. Do you know what? I should write that down, just because I'm gonna. It's the sort of thing I'm gonna forget. That's why it's good to do these just rehearsals ahead of doing anything. You know. Saying that, if I do get stuck next weekend, I'm sure there's many people that will be more than happy to assist me in my plight of I don't know what I'm doing, but you know, please be kind. Write that down because I'll forget otherwise. SR load. What is stupid? It should just be S load. I used to be really good at this and I've just forgotten stuff because, you know, I don't play with it that often. Right, there we are. Right, I've written that down. Thank you for that. Right, so we should now be able to just go. Oh, hang on. Comstar. Oh, wait, hang on. Or is it the other way? Hang on. No, it will be the other way, won't it? Oops. Yes, that's it. No, that's not it. Hey, am I going nuts? What's the wrong chord again? Oh, is it case? I bet you it's blooming case sensitive, isn't it? Do you know what? It's amazing. We did this only the other week. Have I done a control break? No, I didn't, did I? Oh, we've broken it, everyone. Okay, that has worked, hasn't it? Get that high pitch squeal coming out. Yeah. Power on and off, we broke it. Probably can. What version of? I wonder if I'm running the. I wonder if I'm running the wrong. Because I've got multi boots on here, so I just wonder if we need to turn to a different version. Let's just bear with me a minute. So if we just turn. There we go. Let's try that. No, I don't think we're going to mess around with that one. He says, there's nowhere to put anything. Right. Let's try again. Okay, that looks like might be more promising. Just remind me what version that is. That's back to where we were, wasn't it? Okay, let's try again. So first thing to do, let's just take off Copra. I might take the Copra out of this if we don't use it, but if we don't, I can't. If I take the Copra out, sorry, we won't be able to do the gem booting. So for the sake of just doing that, right. Put the Gocart back into 30 and just load back in. Yes, I have turned the GoPro is turned off. It will be on if we do that. There you are, it's gone. So unless I've disconnected altogether, which is the only other thing you can do. So right, so ROMs was as is. C dot right. SR loads. 6Q. Blooming star on. So I don't get on very well with Linux kernels. Oh, missed an M out. God damn it. So let's go com. There we are. Star 8006Q. Okay. Just done it again. I mean, I don't mean to be kind of ungrateful to Richard, who kindly sent me this multi-thing, but this multi-ROM thing has been a little bit problematic, in all honesty. I get it, it potentially fixes a few other things, but something is really messing this up. So that's probably too far the other way. That's the original BBC Micro. So that won't be right. What are we thinking? I swear to God we had this working on this machine before and it was fine. So unless it was the other one. Two, 3, 14. Right, turn you off. C dot comes back in. It's not the right file. Okay, let's just try this again. Well, actually, before we do anything, let's just see if I can control break. Right, I can control break. That does work. Right. So. $8,006 and Q, which is Interesting. Huh? Oh, it's double M. Here. So SR load. It's too hot tonight. Comstars. This is kind of why I would like Comstar. And just a random observation. We'll go with random observations tonight. Feel free. Stardart. Did I know that? I did know that. That's why the forum's called Stardart. I knew that. I knew that, everyone. I've forgotten that. Yeah, you're right. Okay. It breaks. Why does it break? Okay. Why is this breaking? Turn off. Can't be that incompatible. Right. Can I just quick sanity check? So that's the space I'm trying to load into. Yeah. And there are these little jumpers, and the jumper is set. It's set to the left position, or the 9 o'clock position. That's right, isn't it? Because that's... Just bear with me a minute. And this might be why we can't do this. Sorry, you can't see this. I would say I've got the other machine, but I've screwed it together, haven't I? Yeah. Something is messing this up, so let's just... Might have to take some EPROMs out. So careful, just remove the speaker. So I've got ADFS. Yeah, I'm just thinking. Could it be one of these that's not happy with? Possibly. Right, so yeah. Grab me a screwdriver. Actually got any left that could actually be used for prying things out. I seem to have lost all my flathead screwdrivers as well, which is annoying. I'll get borrowed things. I don't have a proper chip puller, and I really should have one. But right, I'm just going to take these out. In all honesty, I still think it's the ROM, but let's just take these out. Okay, so that's that one out. But yeah, so I swear to God that we had used Comstar on this machine, but perhaps we used it on the other one, and we haven't used it on this one. So I'm wondering, is it the multi-ROM that's causing the fault? Have I just gone completely insane? But I'm just going to take these RetroClinic ROMs out. Okay, and I am right in thinking you do set them, the jumpers, the other way. I'm not making this up, am I? So that should now right enable. That should right enable all these. Yeah. Just taking those out in case that's the issue. Power back up. I don't think it's a tube interface, but we could disconnect that. It's a bit of a pain to disconnect it out of this machine, but it's doable. FX151230 14 brake disconnects. Excellent. Right. Okay, so I swear to God this should just work, but so start up. There we go. Not even the right. Oh hello, what's happened there? I've got a bad connection. Right. Oh, I actually think I've got a bad connection on my. God, it's all going wrong tonight. So I've got a problem with the Gocart now. So come out. It was a bit lashed together. I'm not winning tonight, people. I could tell it was going to be one of those evenings. Right. Stop giving me jip, Gocart. Okay. So that's just off there. Okay, so. Sorry, fossil habit. There we go. SR load. Hang on a minute. Again, just a sanity check. So 6.5. Can we go in 4? I'm assuming we could load in 4. Let's find out. Nope, 4. Okay. Nope. Okay. Brake. Control brake. It's got to be the ROM. It's got to be the actual multi-cart ROM we're using, surely. Right. So, yep. I am. It's the multi-cart ROM, surely. Must be a bug. Right, so that doesn't work. Power off, reset. No, really not happy. Okay. Yeah. Clever suggestions, anyone? Oh, there we go. Right, we're back. Yeah, okay. So that's now a thing. Okay. I'm just wondering, what did we do? What did I do rather with the original ROM that was in this machine? Which I think is that one there. So I think that, from memory, is the original EEPROM for this machine. So I just wonder, I don't know how well this is going to work, but let's just take that out. Just remember it's arrow to the top. Take that one out. We'll put this one in. That is an EEPROM, isn't it? That's not the original. Hang on a minute. No, I swear to God, that's an EEPROM. Just wondering if it's not the machine's original ULA, is it? I don't think it is. No, I think it is an EEPROM. Sure it is. Let's just see if it boots on it. Yes. Okay, so this is the original. This is the original OS ROM that came in this machine. And again, just sanity. So let's just do this one last time to see if this now works. Right. Load. Comstar. $8,000, which is the memory address we're going to put it in. Is that the address we're going to put it in, or the amount of RAM we're loading into? I can't remember. Q, because that's new tonight. Yeah. Oh no, hang on. And put it back in 6 and Q. There we go. Right. Okay. Comstar is now in port 6. Control break. What the hell is going on? PyTube Direct then, isn't it? Has to be. And I wrongly blamed Richard. PyTube Direct has to be messing this up. What do we reckon? It must be. Because why else would that be doing? What is going on with this machine? Right. So it's got to be the PyTube Direct. I can't think it'd be anything else. So it's a Raspberry Pi Zero which is hiding underneath, and I'll need to just adjust the... Which, to be fair, is actually getting quite warm under there. That's so weird. Oh, you mean turn off the tube interface? Yeah, I could do that, I guess. That's a good idea, yeah. Or should we just take it out completely? Well, it's worth a shot, isn't it? Config, no tube. Config, no tube or no tube. That seemed happier. Yeah, okay. Now we power off, power back on. It won't see the tube interface. Right. I've definitely got a bad connection on this power supply feeding the floppy drive. So I need to get floppy drive or the Gocart. I'll need to get that fixed before we can go any further. Right. Right. Is anyone left watching this? We're having a bit of a night of it. SR load. So now it's a good exercise in how to, you know, test things, I guess. What is wrong with this machine? Can I just check, just for sanity, that the jumpers, I have got the jumpers here the correct way round for writing to the ROM? That basically they're all set this way, they're set to the left. I'm going to take, do you know what, let's just take these out back. So, oops. I'm going to take the Pi board out because I've just got a feeling that's the issue. Don't ask me why, but this is very strange. Well, it did load in. Yeah, you're right. I guess it wouldn't have loaded if it didn't. So, yeah, this is strange. So, actually going to get a screwdriver. That's a bit eaten up, that. Did I over tighten that last time? I must have done. I've got a screwdriver that's just... There we go, that's better. It's, what's the 9057 when your ROM's the Comstar? I don't know. Oh, okay. Hoping we can just slide the Actually, I don't think we can just slide this out because we disconnect over here as well. Well, I have to apologise to poor Richard, who kindly sent me that ROM. Now I am blaming it for things, and it's probably nothing to do with it at all. So, just going to... You won't be able to see this. If I say a swear word. Right, you go there. Be very, very careful. So I'm just going to get this pie board out. Oh, right. It's probably a bad idea to have shoved it in here in the first place, but... Oh, God, that's not coming out. How on earth did I get that in there? I mean, it was working. It was all working fine, and then we've left it a couple of weeks. Come back, and it's all not working. Oh, God, that is in there tight. Oh, here we go. Right, that's out. Okay, that was the pie board. It seems all right. And if we just get that to sit back again. Okay. Put the RGB back in. Power back up. Right, tube is off. Board is completely out off the system. ROMs are out. Original ROM is back in. Let's try this one last time. Well, I'll say one last time. We've got a few times yet, but okay. Okay. Because I keep spelling it wrong, that's why. No, Q. Oh, for God's sake, why can't... Come on, right. I really messed that up. Right, 6Q, right. There we go. Okay. Moment of truth. Um, yeah. Let me just sanity. I think you're right. We are getting close to a cuppa. I don't think this is going to do it. But... That's the point. We could try the other file. Yeah. Let me just try this. I think this is stupid, but let's just try this because I'm just bear with me. When old computers decide they don't want to play ball with you, it's like... Right, now if I'm right, this is just, again, this is now purely sanity. Sanity check. Yeah, we could put ANSI in, couldn't we? Yeah. SR load. No, and it won't go in because the jumper's not running around. Okay, right, so we can rule that out. Fine. Quick power down. Jumper's back into the other position, so I was right. Unless there's something really wrong with this board. Because we've had a few issues with it before and get that jumper out. So we might have to swap out the... Depends if I want to take the both machines. If I just take the one, then so be it. But nice to have taken some of the bits, but never mind. Right, let's see if this works. Okay. Right, it's my stomach growling as well now, which doesn't help. So, okay. SR load. I'm assuming that is that a program or is that a ROM? Would that, could we just try and load that in? Would that work? 1006Q. Yep. Okay. Control break. Ah. That's interesting. Yeah, we probably know this will work. I can't spell, but apart from that, so I had to do something. It's frozen up on me. That's now frozen on me. So it's okay, you must have used the other machine last time. Yeah, I think we did. Right. Yeah. So it breaks quite badly. Everything breaks on this machine today. Right. So we basically stripped the machine apart and yeah, right. So yeah, I don't think it's your fault, Brian. I'm not suggesting for a second it is. It's definitely there's something slightly amiss with this machine. Luckily, I do have a spare board, so could swap out the PCB. Just put another PCB here. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the only difference is obviously the NULA video NULA card, but that's been fine. It's socketed, so I could take that out and I could put the original ULA back in this, but I don't think that's it. So yeah, there's clearly something amiss. Do you know, it could, all things being said, it could actually be bad RAM in this, you know. Possibly bad RAM. Because it's interesting how it coughs up, if you know what you mean. Let's just, I know we've already tried this to death, but let's just... Let's put it in 4. Oh, and put the blooming star on. So it could be this machine is too ill to go. Right, so that goes in. Thing is, this was exactly the same image we were using in the other one, so it is definitely this machine. Absolutely this machine, it's the problem. Right, that's gone on 4. Right, control. Oh, God. Right. Okay. Can I give up yet? Is it broken? Have I broken it? Has it always? We must use, yeah. Okay. So I've got to make a decision now what I'm doing. If this machine is... thing is, this machine went to Bletchley last time and ran on the Ethernet network. Yeah, it could be. Certainly the other one has just crashed as well, though, hasn't it? So... now I've just got to think now. So basically, the idea for next weekend is one of these machines. I was going to take 2 BBC Masters, right? One of them was going to go onto the Ethernet network, and the other one was going to be used to demo some of the other bits we're trying to get to working this evening, which now aren't working for God knows why, but just aren't. No, I'm just checking to see if my trackpad isn't working on that, which is, but the buttons are. Oh God, this is not going well this evening. Yeah, okay. Well, we've already tried the ANSI thing. It didn't work, did it? Anyway, just to carry on my thought process. I'm going to sneeze in a minute, so. Oh, sorry. There we are. That's nice, all this dust. Right, this machine worked last time it went to Bletchley Park 2 years ago on that ROM and putting the filing system in that filing system. So do we put the Ethernet card back in this machine with the filing system, and then this one goes and joins the Ethernet network, and the other one, which seems to play ball, can do the other stuff I want to do, which has the PyTube Direct in. Okay. I'm just trying to think what we're going to do tonight. Fine, we'll power back up. So put you in 4. Break, that works. Nope, hang on. 2400. Yep. And then I can't. So what do I do then? Because I can't type anything. Admittedly, I've never used this before. So do I need to? What do I need to do now? That's what I'm asking. Looks cool. Would like to play with this, but that's a good question. So now we're not even plugged in. So plug us back in. Hang on. Oh, for God's sake! Probably shouldn't hotwire it in either. But we are running at speed 1200. So we're probably running too fast. Right, just bear with me. Apologies, we're just going around in circles this evening, but just bear with me a moment. So SR load. AMSI 806. So it makes no difference. 6 Q. There we go. Okay, so that's gone in. It's kind of academic, this, because if you have one run on it, then I probably need to use the other machine. Let's be honest with you. That's fine. ROMs. That's so. I've loaded it. I've loaded it in twice now. Right. That's interesting. Probably. Yeah. Okay. Well. Hang on. Is that's now going to cause a problem, isn't it? Because that's going to load the bad version. Right. Let's try this again then. So. Okay. A term 1200. Ah, hello. Ah, finally, right. Excellent. So that works. Okay. That works. So it must be something bad with the I'm going to half rip this machine apart though to get to this point. Just saying, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying we've really, you know. So I mean, what can I tap into then? I'm guessing Night Owl wouldn't be massively happy to tap into. We could try it. I'm guessing it would be like, no. No, it won't look good. I know it won't look good. I'm just wondering if we can tap into it. BS.D.NS.net. Dives onto your computer the other end and denies my access. Okay, yeah, it does work. Yeah. Yeah. That's Brian on the other end typing. Oh, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I know. Well, thank you for your help. Okay, yeah. So, we'll have to use your other machine then. Okay, that's what we'll do. Right. We'll have to use the other machine. So, it's probably still tapped in. Oh, I'm still logged into Night Owl, aren't I? Disconnect me. But yeah, okay. So, right, I think that kind of answers that for us. So, the good news is that apart from for some random reason the cursor... Oh, hang on. The mouse on this is not working. Which is like... That died on me. Oh no, we're alive. There we go. I don't know why the trackpad on this is now not working. The rest of it is. It's just the cursor and the trackpad isn't working, so that's kind of frustrating. So I think this machine, I think we've kind of made our decisions. Let's put the screws back in because I think it's going to have to be... Let's turn it off. There's something... It might just be a bad Comstar file, or that Comstar ROM has issues with... But it was doing it regardless. It's strange. Very, very strange. put this machine back together anyway. So I'm guessing then this one will go as the terminal machine. So back to my little keyboard. Yes. I swear to God that's meant to just work. I'll come to that in a minute, because I swear to God that used to work. Yeah, so just going back to what Brian's saying, so send me another ROM. Yeah, well, it's very kind of you. It's not essential. I mean, it does. I mean, I've taken the bits out of it now, so it doesn't really matter. So, I mean, this one ran 2 years ago. This was the machine that was used for the Ethernet LAN party when they first ran it. So I guess we'll put Ethernet card back in there. We'll put ANFS, sorry, in there. And that's all right. That goes back on there. Screw that back in there. Like that. Just check that's okay. A silly box to get out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. Well, it should be a master compatible version of Comstor. We were using it on the other master and it was fine, because, you know, a couple of weeks back we did that. Yeah, okay, well, that seems all right. Yeah, I guess we'll then leave this one kind of like this, and that will go as the network machine. What a frustrating evening. Obviously, thank you very much for all your help. So what we'll do now is let's take these bits out of here. I have to restart my modem in a minute, but right. So just disconnect. Tangled up in everything. Carefully disconnect, untangle myself. So this one might be wrapped up in everything. So this one might have an issue. I always thought this might be something off with this master, you know. But it was like the only master I had at one point, and I didn't anticipate trying to acquire or collect any more. And then I was given, I think I was given 3 or 4 in one go. So that's why I sold one off, I know that. So this one is an issue. It's the later second issue 2, I think it was. So this one was a little bit newer. This one's actually got the screws in, so I can't can unscrew it if we had to, but let's take this one. And let's plug this one in. Right. Let's RGB in. And then cable in. Power up. So this one has the internal card. So FX15123014 will disable the internal card. Keyboard feels a lot stiffer on this. Right, so that's basically the setup. So there's those files again. I remind you, this is now a different machine. So we can load into 7. So if I go star SR load, seven. Assuming that will go. Yep. Control break. What? Oh, for the right. Okay. That worked. That worked. It's what on earth is going on tonight? That worked. It must. It's the Comstar. Has that corrupted on the disc or something? Is the disc image corrupted? I don't believe this. I can't believe this. So there might have been nothing wrong with the other machine. Oh my goodness. Try without the queue. Yeah, why not? I swear to God, Brad, if it's your queue that has messed this up this evening. Oh, we're really not happy now. Just give it a minute. But it's all right. I very much appreciate the support and the suggestions. It's all good. We're all learning, so it's all good. So, right. Seven on this system. Gosh, that took its sweet time. Right. ROMs. Control break. No, it's got a bit of ROM image then. Because that's now broken on both systems, and it absolutely 100% worked on this one. So there we go. Right. Oh dear, I didn't even get around to the RISC-PC this evening. I've got to have something that works that I can go along with. Yeah. Okay, so we might not be doing the we might not be doing the live BBSing then, which I was thinking we might do. So yeah, there's a fair few issues going on that need to be addressed. Oh dear, what a way to end. I don't know what's changed. I don't know what's changed unless it's corrupted. Because this worked. Absolutely, this all worked. Because, you know. What, star C. What's that do? Not a lot of anything. Weird. So we're on a completely different machine. So, wow, what an evening. Yeah. So, yeah, but it won't local because I've had to power cycle, so it won't be in the ROMs anymore. No, it's not in the ROMs anymore. But I think about control braking, it doesn't work, but not even on the right disk image. That's alright, don't worry about bad typing. I mean, we have to remember this technology is getting on in age, so things. I was hoping the BBC Masters were a little bit more reliable, but you know, there's something is amiss, obviously. It's the ROM image. It's absolutely the ROM image. It has to be the ROM image. Yeah, and this was all working fine. It was working fine last time we looked at it. I've revisited it today, and we've got all sorts of issues and things not working properly. So, nope. Yeah, but we're getting behaviour on both masters now. So yeah, it's definitely the ROM image. Okay, well I'll reload the I'll reload the image that you sent me just in case it's the. I mean, it could even be the Gocart that's gone down or suffering problems potentially. But the other ROM image loaded okay, so it's strange. Anyway, yeah, I think we'll try it. We'll try a new image. I think that's fair enough. I think that's where we're going to have to go. I think. Yeah. So that's been fun. It's been fun, hasn't it? I think that's probably where I'm going to have to leave it this evening. And for this series of 8 till 8, what an anticlimactic end. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to have to leave it this evening. So it's been an absolutely fantastic third series. Thank you so much to everybody who has contributed, supported me, and watched these many hours of technical tinkering and tea drinking. I knew I wasn't going to get that out in one line. Throughout the past good few months. We started actually before Christmas last year. So we've been running for about 6 months now, 20 episodes in all for season 3. So as I said to you at the start, I do need a break, and I think with the summer coming up, many of us need a break. We've got different things going on. So I'm going to try and get something working that I can take for next week along for the Ethernet LAN party. There it is, Saturday the 7th, Sunday the 8th of June. That's next weekend, Bletchley Park. National Museum of Computing. So really look forward to seeing those of you that are going to be able to make it, and I will bring something along. God knows if it'll work, but I'll bring something along so you can come and hopefully come and have a look at these computers for yourself in person, and we'll get something to splutter into life. If I'll be running live BBSing is another matter. I do have some other plans, so it's not all bad, but yeah, that's roughly where we are right now. So hopefully I will be back probably the end of November, or alternatively, if we've done a big house move and everything's a bit up in the air, probably be back with you in January. If I'm not back in November, then we'll probably do a one-off special just before Cambridge. By the way, Cambridge is the 15th and 16th of November 2025, so going to be there both days. Looking forward to that one as well. And I'll obviously do a New Year's and Christmas, or plan to do a New Year's and Christmas live stream, regardless of what happens. So yeah, I will probably just end there with saying once again, a huge thank you to all the channel members and everyone that continues to contribute in the live chat. Thanks everybody for putting up with it. It must be very frustrating watching this and some nights, but no, thank you for all your continued support, input, suggestions, and sending me things. The charity that's needed for poor Tom, who doesn't know what he's doing half the time, and his hardware is struggling along. But we get there in the end. So yeah. And at the time, just gone 22:04 GMT+1 British summertime. That is it for 8 till late, and for season 3 of 8 till late here on youtube.com/Wi-Fi Sheep Live. We'll be back together real soon. Plenty of new video content coming up here on Wi-Fi Sheep and also on Wi-Fi Sheep Channel 2. So do look out for that. I do have new videos that are shot. Just need to get around to editing, and we'll get stuff online. So Wi-Fi Sheep will continue. We'll continue to be doing stuff throughout the summer period, and we'll be back together live, hopefully by the end of the year or early next year. So it just leaves me, Tom Williams, to say thank you once again for all your company. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. And until next time, a very good night. Good night.